In the world of fitness bikes, Peloton has earned quite the name for being one of the best bikes in the industry. However, what killed that deal for me was the insane price tag of $2,500 for a good bike, which is unaffordable. And this is where this bike that's behind me, it's called the YESOUL G1 bike. It's just $499 came into the picture, and I decided to buy this bike over the Peloton bike to give it a try. By the way, this video is unsponsored by them and it's just my review and my experience with what I think is the best Peloton killer ever made. For those of you who are unfamiliar with what the Peloton concept is, it is basically a bike plus a screen which makes the bike more than just a bike. This screen opens up the bike to a whole new fitness dimension, essentially making it a gym studio at home, which is crazy. This screen allows you to gain access to multiple classes, from cycling to strength training and even yoga classes, which you can take using this bike. It also allows you to screencast your phone or your tablet directly to the bike itself, so you can enjoy movies or you can enjoy any kind of scenic bike rides on YouTube if you want to. It also gives you all the fitness tracking information like most bikes on the market do. By the way, my name is Dr. Manik Madaan. It's great to have you on the channel, and in this video I'll try to answer the question whether the YESOUL G1 screen bike is the Peloton killer and whether this bike can replace my gym and essentially become my home gym studio. I'm very doubtful about that, but we'll see. So starting with getting the bike, the delivery was super fast. It just took like 3 to 4 days for me to get the bike, and what was surprising is you get two separate boxes which were delivered to me separately. One box, which is huge, contains the bike itself, which is disassembled and you have to build it from the scratch, and the other box contains a 24-inch LCD screen which is full HD that goes on the bike, as you can see behind me. For most people it takes about 15 minutes to put the bike together, but for me, and I consider myself to be dyslexic a bit, I couldn't read the manual because it was just a bit too complex for me. So I watched the videos online on YouTube where people were assembling their bikes, and through that I was able to assemble it in about 30 minutes, which I wouldn't say is the longest. So not the hardest unboxing I've ever done. Feature wise, this bike is a completely wireless bike, which means the whole bike is operated through your phone. You download this app called the YESOUL app, after which you can pair it to the app, and then everything on the bike is controlled via that app. Within this app lies all the fitness classes, scenic bike rides, and tracking as well, which is also shown on the bike screen itself. Then this brings me to the screen itself. It's a 24-inch LCD screen that's fully 360-degree rotatable. You can also adjust the visual angle from 0 to 42 degrees when you're riding the bike. The bike itself comes in only black, and the material is steel, which makes it very heavy. It's about 40 kgs. Because of this, it's pretty stable, doesn't wobble a lot. It also has this edge-based design which adds further stability to it. When you're biking on it, it's a pretty quiet bike. Most of my neighbors haven't complained yet. I have a roommate as well. At 10 p.m. I was exercising. He couldn't tell if I was exercising or not. He goes to sleep at 10 p.m. so we're not disturbing any roommates or neighbors. There's also a magnetic resistance knob which is adjustable and goes up to 100 levels of resistance, so there's quite a bit of versatility there. There's a bottle holder in front of the bike and a dumbbell rack with dumbbells which are 1 pound each on the back of the bike to assist in doing any strength training when you're riding this bike. Jumping onto my experience with the bike, and did it change my mind about whether I would continue with it as being my gym studio? And this is where it becomes quite surprising. Firstly, the classes. There are so many classes on this bike, right? There's the cycling classes, which generally are 15 to 20 minutes. They're already pre-made, so all you have to do is you have to start your app, like it's already paired to the bike when you start the app, and then you start any class you like. There's classes from beginner, intermediate to advanced in the cycling classes, and there's multiple trainers there. If you like male trainer, you can get a male trainer. Sasha's my favorite within that. There are also female trainers. These trainers will walk you through running the bike, and there's quite a bit of interaction involved, which makes it very fun. There's also a lot of entertainment during the classes where there's like music playing and you are cycling to the rhythm of the music, and as the music changes, you change the rhythm. The instructors will also tell you to change your resistance levels based upon where you're going with the bike. Another thing that's very funny and very entertaining is that you get to kind of dance on the bike. There's choreography involved, and the instructors will teach you that. This choreography mainly involves like doing push-ups in a kind of a dancey format and multiple other movements. You can also pick up the dumbbells and do things with the dumbbells. So there's strength training while you're doing the cardio on the bike. Real-time tracking is also a thing here, where you're given real-time information on your miles that you have crossed or the resistance levels that you're on, along with how many calories you're burning, how much power you have produced. So I found that helpful. Now let's say you don't just want to bike, you want to do other things. All you have to do is you have to turn the screen 90 degrees and just get your yoga mat. Then you can do yoga with the yoga classes provided with the bike, which also go from beginner to advanced, where you have instructors teaching you yoga. If you want to do strength training, you could do the same, where you can just turn on the strength train class, get the dumbbells and do strength training as well. There's quite a bit of body weight exercises like push-ups, and instructors walking you through HIIT, which is high intensity training, if that's what you want to do. So there you just cannot get bored on this bike. Second part, apart from the classes, what I really enjoyed was this feature called Scenic Rides, where you can travel the world using the bike. Let me explain. So you can go in the app, open up Scenic Rides, where you get access to bike rides in France, in Germany, in different parts of the world, and you can see that on your screen and go through that bike ride, which is quite fun. They generally tend to be like 15-30 minutes and to 60 minutes, so that's also an enjoyable feature. Let's say you don't want to do classes, let's say you want more. Well, there's screencasting, which means you can take your phone or your tablet and wirelessly cast your screen to the bike itself. So this allows you to access Netflix, Amazon Prime, YouTube while riding the bike. You can, if you want free classes and you don't want to pay for the subscription itself, which comes with the YESOUL, and I'll get into that later, you can do that through YouTube. If you have a Peloton subscription or you want to go with Peloton subscription itself, you can also screencast that to the bike and take access of any Peloton classes, which I think was amazing. Now talking about the pros versus cons. So jumping onto pros, first of all, I was surprised by how simple exercise with this bike is. It requires no cognition. So let's say you're tired, you come back home and you don't want to think, you just jump on the bike, turn on a class, and the instructor will basically walk you through everything. So there's no planning involved, which increases the likelihood of you or me using the bike, because there's no cognitive fatigue there. Second of all, the classes are quite entertaining itself. I mean, as an athlete who used to ride bikes before just without any kind of stimulation there, it was so boring. But with the classes there, instructors are motivating you, talking you through the class, and you doing different kind of choreography with them, different exercises like with the dumbbells, push-ups. It is so much fun, and there's like a lot of jokes involved there as well. Thirdly, there's live classes. So let's say you want to do it with a bunch of people and you want the instructor to be teaching you live, you can also have access to that. Peloton also has a great feature where you can access these classes via the Peloton app, which you can stream on the bike itself. Fourthly, the instructors are amazing. They're great looking and they have really sweet and tangy personalities, so that inspires me a lot. Fifthly, there's a strength and yoga classes if you don't want to just do cycling. Sixthly, the live streaming itself. However, there are cons to the bike as well. Firstly, starting from that, the screen itself is not the greatest screen on the planet. It's a pretty average screen, but what could you expect more from a bike which is $500 and comes with the screen itself? So I didn't find it to be the best screen. It's a very average screen, but it does the work. Secondly, there's no touchscreen on the bike itself, which you can get on the Peloton. All you can do is, if you want to control the bike, you have to use your phone, which I think sometimes can be disturbing when you're riding the bike. Thirdly, the bike itself works with a paid subscription model where if you want to access the classes on YESOUL app, this tends to be about $10 a month, which is a bit cheaper than the Peloton app. But again, it's a subscription that needs to be paid. Right now, they have their Black Friday sale going on and the classes are just like $98 for 2 years. So it's $4 a month, which is not the most expensive, but still, it's something that you have to pay for, which isn't the best thing given that you're paying for the bike. If you want to bypass this, you can do that via the live streaming function where you can access YouTube and access free classes. Fourth, you cannot connect any Apple Watch or fitness devices to the bike, unlike you can do in Peloton, which allows for heart tracking, so you don't have those features here. Fifth, you cannot connect any Bluetooth speakers to the device, so if you want to use your AirPods and you don't want people to hear what's going on, well, that's not a feature here, unlike you get in Peloton and other Peloton alternatives. Sixth, no auto resistance here. So if you have tried the Peloton Plus especially, it has the auto resistance feature where the instructors themselves can control the resistance on the bike itself. Here there's no such feature. All that control is manual. You have to do it manually. So coming to the conclusion after evaluating the pros and cons, I am honestly shocked and surprised that I enjoyed it. I thought I was not gonna, it was just going to be like a biking thing that I could do in my free time, but I have honestly enjoyed it so much. The instructors are amazing, the classes are so diverse and evolving, which you can never get bored of, and I find myself using it almost daily at night. Who would I recommend this bike to? If you're a beginner or you're an intermediate who wants to get just this all-in-one fitness solution and you also find that it's hard to go to the gym, I think this makes sense. Like, just given that it's just $499, which is the same cost as like most gym subscriptions if you count the monthly fee over time. However, people who are exclusively into strength training, I think you need to go to the gym because the progressive overload that you get with higher weights isn't just there. So that's my opinion, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, give me a like and join the cool squad.